Was when are you getting the stake sponsorship? Never. I would hope that if I was offered a gambling sponsorship, I would turn it down. Like I can't say for sure, right? Like, but I would turn down any gambling sponsorship I ever got. Like, but I've never been in the position before, so I can't like truly fault people who like take them and, you know, once they're offering you, I mean, I don't think I'd ever get offered millions of dollars for a gambling sponsorship, obviously, but once you're offered millions of dollars, it's like hard to be in the, it's hard to put yourself in those people's shoes. But it's something I would hope I would turn down if it ever came my way. Obviously, I'm not in that kind of position right now, but all right, here we go. Nikolai went first. Pidgey pass, a classic. Over to Ufi. Solrock in the active and does have an S-Ball here. I don't know if Ufi plays the Iron Bundle, but does play Prime Catcher. Also could just have Boss KO Pidgey here as well. Oh, actually, I think does have Boss KO. But I think only has a single Fighting Energy in hand, maybe. And that means you wouldn't be Lunar Cycling this turn. So if you just KO the lone Pidgey on the bench, that's only so good, to be honest. Will the TCG ever be esports? I mean, like, as far as being esports goes, I mean, I guess chess did it, so. Oh, and it looks like Ufi is just content with just going Boss KO Pidgey. That means nothing else gets set up this turn, just KOs the Pidgey. I don't think you're that concerned with that, honestly, as Nikolai here. Without seeing anything else hit the bench. Wait, do we have second Pidgey in hand? Wait, did Nikolai have second Pidgey in hand and just not bench it? Wait, why? Why wouldn't you bench the second Pidgey? That just feels like a mistake there from Nikolai. Definitely a mistake. All right. Iono gets played into the Fez for 3. Terrapagos also hitting the bench with an energy. There's the Hoot Hoot. So it is a Charizard style deck. Second Terrapagos in the hand there. No Charmander still. Into a vessel here from Ufi. Oh, wasn't the bottom of the deck not that good though? Actually, the bottom of the deck looks pretty good. What the heck? What happened? How'd the bottom of the deck get so much better, but we didn't do this last turn? What? Here's a vessel. Two more energies going to be hitting the hand here. We're talking about esports, Pokemon. I mean, as far as that goes, yeah, I'd say yeah. I mean, like chess is proof that it's like kind of possible. I mean, it's not really an esport, it's like not an electronic sport, but being like kind of like being adjacent to the scene and having some kind of crossover there. I mean, we already have like the video game that basically, I mean, the video game basically is an esport. Same thing with Unite. So the TCG kind of like gives like an opening for that. But yeah, basically, yes. The answer is yes. All right, Lunatone for 3. No gimme ghouls. This is why I did kind of want to see Ufi take the risk of using the cycle on the first turn to try and see more and hopefully get a fighting energy. But here we go. KO Hoot Hoot. Pidgey gets pushed here from Nikolai. I mean, that means we got Candy Pidgey out for sure, right? Otherwise, we should have just pushed the Terrapagos. Well, we have Jet Energy. Oh, yeah, we have... Yeah, Nikolai is cooking here for sure. Here comes the Fez for 3. Always Fez first year, right? Hoot Hoot, Poffin, Nestle. I mean, we need some basics. We got all the basics here. Is KO Pidgey not better? No, KO the Hoodoo is probably better. KO the Hoodoo is definitely better. I think it's fine. It's fair for Ufi to make the assumption. It's fair for Ufi to make the assumption that the Candy Pidgeot has to come through the Owl. All right, double Charmander found. There is still time for Ufi to be fine here, but things are going to start to get out of control pretty quickly here. At the area 0, so we're going to be able to go wide. Duskull's going to start hitting the bench. Maybe multiple Hoot Hoots. Ooh, Prime Catcher. Things are going to get scary. Pretty scary pretty quickly here. The gold card on Nikolai's side is a Terapagos. Here comes the Dawn. The Dawn does go kind of crazy in this deck, to be honest. Double Duskull to the bench. Zard and Noctowl for the following turn. Was it like a 2-2 Noctowl line? Maybe a 3-3? And we haven't even quick searched yet? Chill. Things are looking scary. Just giving this some final thought here. But yeah, Jet up. Oh, probably thinking about Jet versus Fire. Sure. Because we could have just retreated the active there as well. And then there we go. Trap goes to the active and knock out the Soul Rock. Oofy does have a Nest Ball off the prize card there. So that can at least get us Pheasantipity. Artisan top deck can get us Gimmighoul. Goes out the Artisan here. Okay, some choices have to be made here from Nikolai. What are you giving up here? Looks like a Duskull bites the dust. Maybe the Fez? Duskull Fez? Keeps the Hoot Hoot around. Makes sense. Immediately into the Artisan. But I think it's actually an error here from Oofy because the second Soul Rock is prize, which means, yeah, you'd rather draw into a Gimmighoul and then Artisan for a Gimmighoul. So I think it's an error here from Oofy. Didn't fully check the prize cards. Doesn't know the second Soul Rock's prized. So we should have drawn with Fez first, which I assume the Nest Ball is about to go get us Pheasantipity here. Because we need... This is not enough. We need more. And there we go. Nest Ball. Pheasantipity should be on the way here. There it is. How did Oofy take 2 prizes? Attacking 2 turns in a row with Soul Rock. Nikolai's active is a Terapagos. How do you think you'd do if you use your Evolution Series decks at a regional? The deck specifically, or just the card pool? Could I like take the card pool and change it how I want? Or could I take the card pool and make a deck how I want? That's what I mean to say. I think I'd easily make phase 2. There's a Lunatone here. Turo the Fez out of play. Okay. And then pass. All right. I mean, for the situation, though, I feel like Nikolai can set up pretty reasonably for a Briar line. I guess you could Candy and Boss here and KO both Gimmighouls as Nikolai as well. Which actually is probably going to be the play. We can board wipe here. I mean, the Gimmighouls, yeah. We can't KO all 3, though, right? Prime Dusk. I think it's better than that. I think we have Boss in hand. We can save our Prime Catcher for the future. And we might have Kenny's art as well, just to have that set up on the back line. It's just going to be crazy. Nikolai doesn't play Water Pond? I don't think so, no. No Water Pond. Grabs the area 0 back. There's the quick search. Okay, hold up. All right, I was gonna say I don't think we have access to Dusknoir yet, but we do have quick search, which should get us the Dusknoir here, and there it is. Looking pretty good. There's the area 0. Candy into the Dusknoir. Or hold up, Charizard first, Dusknoir second, I guess. Yeah, this one is looking... I mean, this is looking pretty cooked. Why not quick search Dawn? Because they're gonna play boss for turn. We're gonna boss KO. We're gonna boss KO Gimmighoul with Terapagos, and then Dusknoir KO the other Gimmighoul. Charmeleon gets it set up as well. There's the Candy. There's the Dusknoir. Huge combos going down. Boss on a Gimmighoul. Pop the Nor on the other Gimmighoul. We also bumped the Artisan, so we don't have that to find a Gimmighoul. There's second Artisan in hand here for Ufi, but yeah, this is looking pretty cooked. Buddy Poffin coming out here. Oh, wait, how many Dawn are in this deck? Is it like 4? I thought it was like 2. It's literally 4. There's 4 Dawn in this deck. Okay. I literally thought it was like 2 Dawn. You could grab a Fan Rotom and a Klefki if you want, just to thin them out of the deck, to be honest. I don't see why not. I think Nikolai's going to opt not to. Maybe just Nitroture for a Hoothoot here. I mean, it does seem fine, to be honest. 4 Dawn actually seems kind of... I mean, it seems good. It seems fine. The 4 Dawn too much? I don't know. Seems aight. 4, of course. Of course. All right, there we go. Okay, on the gimme. Let me get a Hoothoot off the prize cards. Not that we really need it. We already have the other Hoothoot on the bench, right? Or is it a Duskull on the bench? Oh, no, we want the Hoothoot. Okay. Yeah, this is looking pretty cooked. All Nikolai needs to do is set up another Charizard, and this game should basically be over. Actually, should Nikolai have even benched that Hoothoot? Because it does give, like, Ufi a potential to go with, like, Soul Rock KO here, right? Maybe shouldn't even give that option over, to be honest. If you just don't bench Hoothoot here, there's no way for Ufi to get a prize card. Theoretically, like, Ufi could have Soul Rock, Gimme Ghouls, Boss KO Hoothoot, or like Prime Catcher KO Hoothoot, and then go down to 2 prize cards left with a 1 prize board. So I feel like the Hoothoot bench here, honestly, from Nikolai is probably a mistake. Maybe bench it next turn, but I think you can... the Hoothoot probably only provides a loss condition here for Nikolai, because you have Quick Search on board, so you shouldn't need more than that for the rest of the game, probably. Did Oivan make the top 4? Not sure. I don't know if Oivan has started the top 8 match yet, because he was waiting on the asymmetrical round, or the asymmetrical match. Speaking of Dawn, how many Dawn should be included into Dragon Ball decks for Phantasmal Flames? I mean, depending on who you ask, 0. Seems like the majority of people say 0. Yeah. Card still seems pretty good though. I'm not convinced 0 is correct. All right, Vessel coming out here for Ufi. We do have the draw power of the Lunatone, but we've already played Arvin for turn. Well, no, we have Prime Catcher. So the play I mentioned could happen here. Nikolai could draw into Buddy Poffin plus Prime Catcher, and then get the KO on this Hoothoot and punish that from Nikolai. So we could see that mistake here from Nikolai getting punished instantly. It would have to be a pretty good draw here from Ufi, obviously. We need Poffin. Poffin and Prime Catcher. Doesn't Briar just win the game then? No. Because Nikolai has 3 prize cards and Ufi will have a 1 prize board state. Here we go. Prime Catcher Poffin. Arvin. Gimme. Never lucky. You know, I'm benching the Fez. You bench the Fez, though, you do just lose to a boss, even if you draw the Prime Catcher. Goes into the Poffin. Yeah. Gimmies are set up, but yeah, no Prime Catcher means it's basically over at this point. Nikolai can KO the active and basically win the game. Could go for the boss KO on the Fez this turn, but yeah, you probably just KO the active and set up for your next Charizard, and it's going to be over. Game 1 should be going to Nikolai here. Gimmy's coming out a little bit too late for Ufi. Lack of Gust Effect as well. If he kills Owl, he goes to 2, then Briar wins. You did not... Nope. You didn't pay attention to what I was saying. Listen. It's one thing to pay attention to what I was saying and then be like, Azul, that play seems fine, but what about this play instead? Or wouldn't this be a flaw with that play? It's another thing to just not pay attention to what I said and then say something that has nothing to do with anything I said. That's two things. All right, second Zard getting set up here for Nikolai. Yeah, this is beyond cooked at this point. We can start thinking about game 2. Honestly, this deck from Nikolai, very similar to... like, it plays very similarly, I feel like, to... like how Oyvind's build plays against this matchup, but probably more consistent at pulling off the Briar Dusknoir combo in the late game. So this matchup feels kind of scary for Gholdengo, to be honest. This deck feels like it's a way more consistent version of the deck. Also, as Nikolai, you can like more consistently like fan road him early game, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. How would this build beat Pult? You don't. You definitely just get farmed by Pult for sure. Maybe if there's a duck in there, maybe you have a chance if you have a duck. Charizard can go first and turn to KO. That's good. That's a good point as well. Going first feels way better for sure. If you have duck in there, I guess it's beatable, but otherwise it's probably a bad matchup. I think the only build of Charizard that really has a strong chance against one Pult in top 8. That is true. It did beat Pult in top 8. I think the only build of Zard that has a strong chance against Pult is probably like the four Dawn helps. I could see it. I guess you don't have TM Evo, but you do have Dawn. But you're a turn slow though. You're still a turn slower. Because you have to manually evolve through the Dawns as opposed to TM Evo in a turn sooner. But you do have Fan Rotom for early KOs as well, possibly as well. So that is that. No duck. The Pult's probably favored for sure. Pult's probably favored. But yeah, I think the only build of Zard that is like I think the build of Zard that has the closest matchup is like the Gabriel Fernandez build. I think you could like maybe it's even at 50-50 to be honest against Pult. I'd have to actually like play the matchup more, but Reggie Fez doesn't matter, right? Ufi's only win con was to take 1 that turn, then Nikolai can take 2 with either Boss or Briar. Well, no, it matters a lot. Because if you don't... No. It matters a lot, Lunch. Because if Ufi draws 1 prize card, Ufi goes down to 2 prize cards left. If Nikolai goes... If there's a Fez on the bench, Nikolai can go Counter Catcher Briar win. If there's... Or Prime Catcher Briar win. If there's no Fez on the bench, then Nikolai can't win next turn. And then Ufi goes Gholdengo KO 2 prize for next turn, win the game. Ufi putting a 2 prizer in play without drawing a prize card instantly loses him the match. Ufi putting a 2 prize Pokemon in play while drawing a single prize card means he can win if there's no Gus Briar. Ufi putting 0 2 prizes in play and taking a knockout with a 1 prizer puts him ahead in the prize exchange. The question is, does he for sure win from there? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, he can Gus and Briar. I don't know if he plays Counter Catcher, but he has Prime Catcher, so it's possible. Phantom start here from Nikolai. Ufi did choose second, which honestly... I don't even know if that's correct in this match. Going first in this matchup actually might be better because of the Fan Rotom. Like, does Nikolai really care if he goes first? I don't even know if he cares. And that puts so much more pressure on Ufi to get like a turn 1 knockout with the Soul Rock. But we did open Soul Rock here for Ufi. So it's a pretty good start, obviously. What if he does that? The board is weak. Dusknoir Iono is an option. Oh, you're not talking to me though, right? Pidgey, Hoothoot, found. What variant has the best chance in the Pult? Probably the Gabriel Fernandez build from LAIC. All right, over to Ufi. Way better start here for Ufi. We got Poffin. We got turn 1 Soul Rock attack. Okay, we are cooking here. If we're gonna have a game. Gabriel Fernandez was never at LAIC. Oh, did he not go to the event? He posted the list. Maybe he's just talking about the list he would have played if he had went. Gimme goals found. We got, ooh, double Fighting Gong. Oh, and a Nest Ball. Yo, chill. All right, let's draw some cards first here. Actually, using the Poffin, it was also probably a misplay there from Ufi, right? Shouldn't we have drawn first with Lunatone before we committed to the Poffin? Because we want triple Gimme Goal here, right? Christian won an ASIM. So Christian with Pult beat Silas. Dude... If this tournament just turns into the Zards beat the Gholdengos just to lose to Pult and then Pult wins this tournament, that's going to be sad. So Christian beats Silas. So it's Pult versus... Oyvind now has to beat a Pult. There's a good chance Christian beats Oyvind and then Pult advances. And then Pult plays against Pult. And then Pult advances to the finals. And then Polt beats the winner of this in the finals. Polt winning is so cringe, man. Like, what the heck? This isn't Guardy. I would rather have Guardy win than Polt. Polt winning is the worst. Polt winning is literally the worst possible outcome. Okay, here's the cycle for 3. We did find another gimme goal there. So Ufi just played the nest ball. I thought we were going to try and hold back the nest ball because the nest ball is really good to find Genesect and Fez. So I still don't like that sequence there from Ufi, to be honest. We did get a nest ball off the prize cards there. I'll talk about this. I don't like this choice here from Ufi to play the Poffin before cycling with the Lunatone, because I think you want to keep the nest ball. The nest balls are super high value until you set up your board. Like, the nest ball finds you Genesect, it finds you Pheasantipity to like play the game aggressively. So I actually don't like this play from Ufi. I think Ufi probably should have held the Poffin, cycle with Lunatone, try and draw into a gimme goal, then Poffin for 2 gimme goals, have triple gimme goal, and save the nest ball for later. Not boss to Charmander? Was that an option? Why are you saying Ufi? I don't know. How do you pronounce the name? Maybe he just wants to save the... Well, no, Boss KO Charmander kind of works there, right? Ufe. Ufe. So we could have bossed but chose not to? I feel like we definitely should have bossed there, right? Oomphy. Oomphy? Well, see, now you guys are giving me like 3 different pronunciations. But I see the most oomphies of anything. Ufe was how I thought, to be honest. Ufe. Yuffie. Nikolai's playing Prime Catcher. Alright, Kenny Pidgeot, Kenny Zard. But I mean, we got the 2 prize. We have to go in with 2 prizers here from Nikolai. The prize trade is still possible, winnable here from Ufe. Area 0 into play. Hoothoot hits the bench, and then we see a nest ball coming out as well. Can get ourselves the Pheasantipity, draw more cards. If Ufe doesn't take 2 now, he loses. Yeah, but he should be able to take 2 here pretty reasonably. It shouldn't be too hard for Ufe to take 2. There's a Zard KO. We'll see, though. There is a nest ball in hand, so things kind of worked out. Despite Ufe just burning the nest ball, it did kind of work out. We did get the nest ball at the prize card, and we have 2 Gholdengos in hand. We did naturally draw into the second Gholdengo. We got a pretty good shot here, I think, of getting a 2 prize knockout. And there's the boss in hand still, so you could just go boss to trap, goes off the bench if you come up short on the energy. Man, I gotta go back real fast while he's sequencing out. On the first turn, did he not play boss? Wait, is this the replay? Oh, this is game 1. What the heck? But could Ufe actually have played boss there? And boss KO'd the Charmander off the bench? He held boss? Wait, why would you not boss KO Charmander there? Doesn't that buy you +1 turn? I guess not definitely, because Nikolai could go Fanordum KO Gimme Ghoul, right? But it still feels correct, right? He bossed the Pidgey? No, he KO'd the Fanordum the active. He didn't boss anything, right? Fanordum KO his own Gimme? Yeah, but or also, wasn't there only 1 Hoothoot on the bench? Boss KO Hoothoot is maybe even the better play, right? Like, it feels like Hoothoot might be the big threat there. Or, like, yeah, that gives the most potential to Nikolai's turn. It feels like not using the boss is just a mistake, I guess. For sure. It feels like KOing something besides the fan rotom puts more pressure on Nikolai's turn. And potentially follow up. But now it feels like Nikolai's gotten very comfortably to where he wants to be for the situation. Not that it's terrible for Ufe here. You're still doing okay. All right, here comes the Fez for 3. Ooh, it's a pretty bad 2. Oh, that's a pretty bad 3. Maybe Alana's Aid. I think we have Superior in hands. Alana's Aid is not that good. All right, here we go. We'll go for 2. Superior's not good enough. Prime Catcher. That could KO the Duskull with a Soul Rock. Nikolai can win next turn, I think. No, not quite. You would need access to double Dusknoir to win next turn. How many the Pokemon monsters do I have? A lot. Comes the Fighting Gong. It might just be Prime Catcher KO Duskull here. Or Candy Dusk. True. The better KO Hoot or Dusk. I mean, there's quick search online. I think it has to be the Dusk. Yeah, I think it has to be the Duskull. The Duskull's way too scary. I mean, I don't know. Is that true? I guess it's pretty easy to recover the Duskull, right? Maybe not. I mean, I think I would go after the Duskull here, but actually, you might be wrong, or you might be right. Actually, going after the Hoodoo might be better. Dude, he chooses. I mean, we're Prime Catchering. Does go for the Duskull. That's what I think I would go for. Like, instinctually, that's what I would go for, but I can definitely see the value of the Noctowl for sure. The Noctowl is likely to lead to the recovery of the Duskull anyways. All right, Fez for 3 to start off with. There's a Poffin in hand, so if second Duskull's in the deck, we can go find that. And there we go. Another Hoothoot wouldn't be bad either. I think do we want double Duskull here? Well, not really, right? Well, no. We do want double Duskull. And honestly, we could go double Duskull plus just Charizard KO active, right? Oh, no. If we could, we also do this, but yeah, I guess we can do this plus boss KO Fez as well, or Prime. Well, I mean, we've got the boss in hand, so we're saving our Prime here. Boss KO Fez. I mean, this is looking pretty good for Nikolai, right? Like, you just have the prize trade lined up. The only thing that would be bad here would be if you prize Briar. But I don't think it's prize, so it looks pretty... I mean, dude, this is unwinnable. This is literally unwinnable for... Like, you can't even whiff here as Nikolai. The only thing you could do is misplay. Like, you literally can't whiff. 2 Hoothoots and Fez and Pidgeot set up on board. Like, there's too much going on. Even if you prize Briar, you win. That's true. Yeah, even if you prize Briar, you literally still win. Yeah. Because you'll have access to the Dusknoir the next turn. Jeez, man. This matchup seems so... I don't know. Is it that bad? Maybe... No, but if Ufe had gotten the knockout on the last turn and KO'd the Charizard, he'd be in a fine spot, right? All right, Gholdengo for 2. Ufe plays Iono Trust. I don't think there's an Iono in here. Even if there was an Iono in there, I still don't trust, to be honest. I don't believe. I have no faith. You can just discard the Terapagos, right? Yeah, you just discard Terapagos. Like, your Charmeleon becomes a Charizard. Unless you're actually scared of Iono. But I would not be scared of Iono here. No Gholdengo plays Iono. I guess Ilya does. Hoot goes. Getting rid of the Hoot is probably also fine though. Like, Ufei can't afford to chase a one prizer here anyways. Yeah, just kind of a formality at this point. Ufei just gets to play the turn. Oh wait, Nikolai won game 1. I thought we were gonna actually get a game 3. This is literally just over. For some reason, I thought we were going to a game 3 here. Nope. It is a quick 2-0 for Nikolai in this one. Try to keep Fez over Skull. Skull doesn't help win the game, really. No, you need the Skull. Actually. Oh yeah, what you need? Maybe. I don't actually know. There's like, I don't even know. I'm trying to come up with like what is the best play for Ufei, and I can't even come up with that. So like, I can't tell what we should keep. Yeah, I can't even tell you. I don't even know what to keep here, to be honest. I guess the play here from Ufei is always just like KO the Pidgeot, right? And pray that's enough. I think that's what we're going to see happen here. Boss KO Pidgeot and pray that Nikolai literally has nothing, I guess. But Nikolai has way more than nothing. Which is the strongest build of Zard? Or the general build is typically stronger? This build of Zard is more powerful. I don't know what the best, as far as the best build of Zard goes. This build is weaker against Polt, I would say, than like the Gabriel Fernandez build. But I think if you're gonna go down this, I think if you're gonna go down the route of having the weaker Polt matchup, this seems better than the Oyvind build. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. Like this build seems like it's better than. I can't really. What is like the strength of playing what like the Oyvind Secret Box build opposed to this? This feels like this seems like it's just better. Like if you're gonna commit to like having like no tech cards for the Pult matchup, just play this. Because this seems like it even might have a better Pult matchup than what like the Oyvind's playing. I don't understand what this play does for... Wait, what does this play do? 200. Oh, is Ufei trying to get like sneaky with like the Monkey Dory? Okay, actually this... I mean, it could happen, I guess. Yeah, Ufei's trying to get tricky with the Monkey Dory, hoping that Nikolai punches a Gholdengo here, but doesn't KO it. Punch Gholdengo, but don't KO it. And then can Monkey Dory 30 over plus boss KO in the same turn. So that's a line. That's a line there, but it does require Nikolai to misplay. This isn't actually a line of play that should ever work. This is a line of play that should literally never work. But it's better to do something that gives you a chance, even if it involves your opponent misplaying, than to do nothing. So you got to respect the play from Ufei, but it's not going to end up in any what's it called? But Azul, Ufei has no damage on his board. Monkey doesn't do anything. Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh no, Ufei, look out. You have no damage on your board. Monkey Dory is useless. All right, Prime Catcher here. Oh yeah, we have Candy Dust, so we can just feed a prize card. Yeah, this would cause like the misplay from Nikolai would have to be like so bad, but yeah, no mistakes here from Nikolai. Pops the Nor, gets a prize card. Ufei gets a prize card, which means Charizard won a KO's Gholdengo. Oh wait, did he just win with... Oh wait, did he just draw all of his prize cards? Am I trolling? I didn't even think he could win that turn for some reason. Oh wait, he literally had 3 prize cards? Oh, what the heck? I thought he had 4. I thought he couldn't even win that turn. Yeah, I literally thought he couldn't win that turn. I thought he was gonna win anyways. I thought he couldn't win, but he would win. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna win now, but he will win eventually. Type deal. That also works though. All right, pretty uneventful cut round, but this matchup does seem pretty bad for Ufei. Not impossible, Like, even there in that game, too, if Ufei just got the 2-prize knockout on turn 3, he was at the advantage for sure. Definitely at the advantage, but didn't happen this time around. So it is a L overall. We gotta go back to that. I gotta go back to that turn 1 though in game 2 from Ufei. Okay, it's like here. Did we have a boss play and just didn't do it? I kind of just don't believe it, you know. Buddy Poff. Timothy Ghoul. Okay. Yeah, we just don't boss. Maybe, like, because he drew the boss off the Lunatone, he just wasn't thinking about it. Like, he looked at his hand, he's like, okay, I'm gonna use Lunatone, draw my cards, and attack. And he just and then when, like, he drew the boss, he didn't realize a new play was available and just attacked. But, like, Boss KO Hoot Hoot here just seems kind of good. What about Boss KO that Mander, though? It's got to be... What is the best boss? What is the best thing to boss here? It's got to be the Hoot Hoot, right? We could KO the Charmander, but then if Nikolai has Terrapagos, we get access to Noctowl still. I'm not sure. What is the best thing to boss here? He definitely should have bossed something. KO in the Fandom is actually just bad. We definitely should boss something here. It's the Charmander or the Hoot Hoot, though, right? Every time. It's one of those two. Maybe it would slow them down. Well, it might not, though, because Nikolai could just have boss attached to Fanrodom, KO something off the bench. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best thing to do here is. Boss and randomly select is better than KO Fanrodom. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. I think KOing Duskull actually might be worse than KOing Fanrodom here. KOing all the other things is definitely better than KOing Fanrodom, but KOing Duskull actually might be worse. I think it's the Hoot. We know the Turtle is in the deck, so it's not like KO the Mander takes him off of an attack next turn. Well, no, but it could take him off the attack to KO the active Tangelos, because Terrapagos without Charizard can't KO the active. So Fanrodom Energy Boss is the only way to take a knockout. But if you leave the Charmander around, then Candy Charizard KO active is a play. But if you KO the Charmander, that's not a play. And the only play becomes Fanrodom Boss. So we'd limit one of the options for our prize cards from Nikolai. With, if we KO the Charmander, we can't... If we KO the Charmander as Ufei, Nikolai can't KO the active and can only Fanrodom KO the bench. If we KO the Hoot Hoot, Candy Charizard gives the option of KO the active and makes it almost impossible for the Fanrodom KO. Actually, just because of that, I think it always is KO Hoot Hoot, right? Because you want to force Nikolai to KO the active here. Yeah, okay. I think that is actually what we do here. Is we always KO Hoot Hoot here because we're okay if Nikolai KOs the active, but we want to decrease the odds of Nikolai being able to use a 1-prizer to KO a 1-prizer. So we KO Hoot Hoot here. If we KO Charmander, Nikolai can go attach energy active, bench Terrapagos, Noctowl, Boss, KO Gimmighoul with Hoot Hoot, with Fanrodom, excuse me. And then if we go Solrock KO, well, then we could say as a 1-prize board, though, as Ufei. I think I still lean towards the Hoot Hoot, though. I think Hoot Hoot is still probably best. Because we want Charizard to attack next turn and KO our active. Like, we want that to happen. I think Hoot Hoot or Pidgey are best KOs, yeah. I think the Pidgey's actually a pretty bad KO, to be honest. I don't think the Pidgey's very good at all. I think the Pidgey... Yeah, the Pidgey's worse than the Charmander. Because you probably get to the Pidgey out through the Noctowl, right? Actually, I don't even know if that's true. The deck plays like 4 Dawn, 4 Candy, but still. Yeah. I think it's very possible Ufei, like, saw the hand before using Soul Rock and was like, okay, I have my 3 Gimmighouls, I have my energy for turn, use Lunar Cycle, draw the cards, attack. And didn't even think, oh, wait, what happens if I draw a boss? And And then drew the boss and just attacked. And it was like, yeah. Did they do an interview? They must have not done an interview, right? Or they're going to do an interview after this. As long as Terrapico's knocked out Pidgeot, so surely the Hoothoot has to go. Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know if that would be the reason for that, though. Does it play 4 Dawn? Yes, then I'd probably prioritize Mander. I was leaning Pidgeot, assuming it would be hurdles Nikolai would have to go through to get Pidgey back and set up. Yeah, the deck plays 4 Dawn. Prioritize Mander. I think if we KO the Mander, then the Pidgeot gets set up through the Hoothoot. Like, everything gets set up through the Hoothoot. But I guess that means that there's maybe still not a knockout happening. I guess the highest odds of a KO happening next turn is through the Charmander. So maybe KOing the Charmander does make the most sense still. Because that, like, just stops the potential of a KO. It's one of them, though. It's definitely one of them. Maybe it is Charmander. Now you're kind of convincing me it's Charmander, to be honest.